Greetings and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Octopath Traveler. I'm your host, Alden Foodry. Excuse me, and we're going to be doing this a little bit differently. Now see, I did the recording for this episode, and unfortunately, the audio kind of got lost in transition somehow. So this audio is being done post-commentary style. So we're going to go ahead and start off with doing Cyrus's Chapter 3. Now, granted, it's been a little while since I actually did the recording, and now when I'm doing the audio, so excuse me, I have not been feeling my best. So if I sound a little off, that would probably be why. But here I'm kind of figuring out like how best to put the team in order to get this chapter started, because obviously we're going to be doing Cyrus, so he's got to be in the party. So it's just a matter of figuring out which characters I needed to start with to do the travel banters in the best order. And hi kitty, go away. Alright, so looks like we're ready, so we're going to go ahead and hear a tale. So we're going to end up starting Cyrus's Chapter 3. After his story is done, we've only got one more Chapter 3 to go. The story so far. In Quarry Crest, Cyrus used his powers of deduction to get to the bottom of a series of kidnappings, perpetrated by the depraved scholar Gideon, who was harvesting the villagers' blood for his dark research. It was in Gideon's sickening laboratory that Cyrus discovered it. A translated copy of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Though the history of the dark arts intrigued him, he could not sit idly by while his peers used knowledge for evil. And so Cyrus came to Stonegard, where the tome was bound. Would he find answers here, or only more dreadful questions? Stonegard at last. This is actually one of my favorite towns in the entire game, just because I love the look of it. A sprawling city if I ever saw one. Talk about searching for a needle in a haystack. But I love the aesthetic here in Stonegard. It's one of my favorite towns in all of Octopath.
Now then.
So, I'm very much a fan of both Cyrus's and Hanet's stories that kind of bring them here. Because this is the type of town that I could see myself living in. Whoop. Go away, kitty. The bindery. So we need to... Whoop, and the cat hit my mic. So we need to go to the bindery to find out who or what was going on when this book was created. And Cyrus over here is... a little suspicious.
Well.
Now, why ever would that be? Gasp. Le gasp. We are being followed. Alright, time to hear some travel banter. Take care, scholar. You know, I feel it now too, the unmistakable sense of being watched. The feeling was faint, but came and went, but it grows stronger. How did you acquire them? I cannot say. It was something I learned on the battlefield. By what means I do not rightly know. Probably from surviving. I was hoping there was some easy trick to it. I think easy here means something different to you and me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ulbrich kind of honed that particular skill of his by being able to survive. Bookbinding requires the finest of materials. And now we find the book's whereabouts. What the? Oh, the cat's over there making some noise. So we need to find this Dominic fellow to find out where exactly he is and what his relation is to this book. Beg pardon, is this the residence of...
Excuse me.
I don't know who you are, but I'm not in the mood for company.
My apologies.
Be gone with thee! If you could spare a moment.
Of
I
your
said I wish
time.
to see no one. Leave me at
Be
once.
gone with you.
Wow. Rude. He's a stubborn one, all right. Reminds me of somebody. Might move me to find a bit more about our friend Dominic. So now we get to make use of Cyrus's interrogation abilities. He refuses to talk into
I
me.
see.
Gee, what was your first clue? Maybe it was the go away. Wherefore would someone so mighty turn us his back on others? They were suggesting there's a reason for his behavior. So there is the possibility of a tragic past here. So
Wow.
you refused. Type regularly common in the world of philosophy. Shall start by talking to his colleagues and other associates. His bookish stripes are badder than the carrion case. And Cyrus is like, wait, do you mean me too? Oh, Tyrion, you may have put your foot in your mouth a little bit. Just a bit. So we find out about his seclusion because he lost his daughter. Ooh, tower shield, I want that. And now we can interrogate the old man. At a translation commission he thought would earn him a fortune. Still rues the day he said yes to it. Very suspicious. And... oh, that's right. It's time to trade out some folks to get some new travel banter buddies. Because that is always the name of the game when it comes to this particular game. I'm so glad in the second one that they actually, like, made it to where you can see all of the travel banters at the end of the chapter, so you can actually focus more on actually doing stuff with the characters rather than trying to finagle things around to get your travel banters in a specific order. Now granted, once we reach chapter 4, there's going to be some large-scale travel banters that you can get with certain combinations of characters. So you're actually going to end up coming across like 3- and 4-person travel banters that are going to be a little bit more interesting. Now granted, those will be a little bit harder to get just because of the fact that you can only do one every certain amount of time. Alright, so that's the last one that we need, but we're going to kind of look around a little and see what else we can snatch up from these good people. Got a lot of soul stones. Definitely need those, especially the medium and large ones. Ooh, a rock cleaver. Not entirely sure if we can do much with that at the moment, but protective earring, a wind amulet, and not much out of that. Elementary didn't even threaten me. So, get a steal for an old man. Ooh, the elemental augmenter. That's actually a really good item. I forgot that old man had that. That's actually one of the better items in the game, especially if you're looking to build someone as a mage. The Fortress of Everhold. It's really quite all these things of history. So we're just going around just like swiping everything that we can get our grubby little thief hands on. This is one of the nice things about having Tyrion as your primary party member, because he's going to be pretty much a higher level than everybody else because he's constantly in the party, so that's going to make stealing things at this stage of the game a little bit easier compared to having him in your party only part-time. Let's see, nothing in there. More goodies to... Ooh, can't steal any of that, can't steal that from them. But I would be able to purchase it. And... Yep. We're going ahead and purchasing that. I mean, we got the money for it, and the Forbidden Blade actually does have some useful abilities, namely that really high attack. Although, to be fair, it does have its problems because, obviously, it's a forbidden weapon. The forbidden weapons are a little bit tricky because they have a tendency to, I guess you could say, provide really good benefits, but also there is at least one stat that they drop tremendously once you equip it. So in a sense, they pretty much are like double-edged swords. Because oftentimes you're not going to have the ability to get something that's like really good until you can get a hold of the battle-tested weapons. So right now we're just kind of walking around, seeing what we can inquire about, what we can steal. Because there's not much we can do other than that to kind of get to the end of this area before we actually go about... Ooh, Guardian Amulet. That's a good item. But we need to kind of get everything that we can before we begin the next stage of this story. A notorious philanderer of a noble household. Gee, that sounds like a few characters that I've heard of. The Fall of House Lander. Now what's this guy want? Because he's got an inspiriting plum basket, but he's also got those orange ellipses over him, which kind of suggests a side quest. And as you all know, side quests are the bread and butter of just about any RPG. Because it's not just the story that you come for, it's the extra quests along the way. Ooh, Noelle the Historian. Remember we took her into one of those caves way back when, and now she wants to hear about the Fortress of Everhold, which we got a little bit earlier. So now we're talking to her, tell her about a red-eyed dragon. Probably not the red-eyed black dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh fame. It's like when I think of a red-eyed dragon, that's usually the thing that I think of. I do like her little outfit though. She dressed a little bit like an apothecary almost. Ooh, got a pretty decent amount of money and a tough nut. I'm probably going to focus on doing using the nuts on certain party members at a later time. Mostly because I'll be doing that once I decide how I want to focus each party member's actual abilities. So, let's see. Just gonna go ahead and head down there and start trying to figure out what we're gonna do with Dominic. Because it's about time to crack the door open on him.
Excuse me.
And he's probably going to be stubborn. You again. I already told you I do not want to talk to anybody. Who did he lose to sickness? His daughter. What did he take to pay his debts? Translating a book. And if my reasoning is correct, this is undoubtedly why Dominic has cut off all contact with the outside world. Do not mean to open old wounds, friend. I've heard that you lost your dear daughter to illness. He knows. How does he know?
Thusly.
Because the electors that might save her, you needed coin, quickly. So you translated a book.
Yes.
Who told you this? The book you translated is now in my possession.
Now then.
Clearly you are a scholar of great knowledge. Took care to omit the most horrific passages, doubtless because you recognize the danger they posed. Now the question is, who commissioned it? Who commissioned the translation? Now comes the interesting information. Come inside. And we got through to him.
Many thanks.
We are now inside his house. Where should I even begin?
Listen.
15 years ago, a man came here to me with a request he
truth.
said was of dire import. Strangely, I cannot recall his name. He was a scholar, and from his words, one could tell his mind was as sharp as a blade. But what I remember more than anything were his eyes, which burned blood red with a zeal for knowledge that bordered on obsession. Wait, red eyes. Who do we know with red eyes?
What in the...
No, perished the thought. They say in recent years he accepted a prestigious position at the Royal Academy in Atlasdown. Good heavens, Headmaster Yvonne?
Couldn't be.
Wait a minute. Yvonne was the name. Yes, that's the man.
Yes.
Oh, piddlesticks. Our boss is the one who
In truth.
commissioned this translation. Full well the danger posed by the forbidden knowledge within. I was not blind to the risk.
Yes.
And yet, what choice did I have? The medicines my daughter required cost a veritable fortune. So you followed Yvonne's instructions to the letter. I translated that dreadful tome.
Yes.
All the while, fearing for my life what horrors might come to pass if the knowledge fell into the wrong hands. In the end, even the rarest of elixirs could not save my girl. Good question. What was the man thinking? See, there's never
Leave
used
it to
to
me.
bring pain to anyone again. Pain and guilt you bear is surely beyond my understanding, but I hope this will bring you even a small measure of solace. Cyrus, was it? You have my
You have
thanks.
my thanks.
So, now we know the identity of the one who commissioned the translation. To keep hiding in the shadows, or shall we end the charade? You are wise to my presence. Well, you're not exactly subtle,
Just
no matter how
so.
much you try to be. I recognize you. You're the assistant to the headmaster. The headmaster's assistant, Miss Lucia.
Call me Lucia.
And why have you followed me, Miss
Greetings.
Lucia? Forgive me, Professor Albright. I meant no
I
offense.
apologize.
I overheard that you were investigating the whereabouts of a certain tome. A tome by the name of From the Far Reaches of Hell. Now, how did she know that? What I'm about to say, I ask that you keep in the
In
utmost
truth.
confidence. I have reason to believe Headmaster Yvonne is plotting something unsavory involving the self-same tome. So the thief who stole the book from the archives was
I'll be...
the headmaster himself. Well, he is one of only a couple people that has access to it. I will not stand to see my profession's good name sullied by one who would use knowledge in the name of evil.
Indeed.
I just realized that Lucia actually wears the same black robes that Cyrus does. Oh, Yvonne hails from Stonegard himself.
Yes.
The house in which he was born still stands. Yet there are ominous rumors about the place. I have ascertained its location, so I ask that you lend me your aid. I suppose we can try. Before I promise anything, I would see the house with my own eyes. It's on the north side of town. So up the ominous staircase then. Brilliant. Oh dear. I'm starting to get a little tired myself. I will
Shall we begin?
pay it a visit. But of course.
Thank you. And
now we need to come investigate the headmaster's house. But of course we have more travel banter to use.
Pardon
The things that you teach back at the palace. Oh no. Pull up a lock and I'll give you a lesson. Trevor's like, huh? Wait, hold up. I never said I wanted a lecture. He's been talking for an hour now. I'm not sure whether to be annoyed or impressed. Okay, to be fair. We really need to get back on the road. Oh dear, and that's an hour of my time I will never get back. Poor Tressa. Well, a valuable lesson was learned here. Don't ever get him going. But now, we can switch Tressa out for another travel banter fellow. We still haven't done Alphins yet, but oh, that's right, I swapped out Ulrich for Tressa because he had the lowest level, so he would have been better suited because we were going to be going into a dungeon soon. So now we get to go up and investigate the actual house. This is where Master Yvonne was born and raised. One of the neighbors that has laid abandoned for some 20 years. That's a long time.
Is that so?
It does look like it's been... Oh, for the love of... I've been bamboozled. And now I'm in a dungeon. Brilliant. What is this place?
Where? What is this place?
Professor Albright. I apologize for this little ruse.
Professor Albright.
Oh dear.
I apologize for this little...
We've been tricked. We've been shanghaied. We've been quite possibly bamboozled.
Anywhere. So, we meet
And
again.
the headmaster is up there.
Headmaster Yvonne.
And Lucia was in on the whole thing. When I heard you were
I
looking
heard
into
you
from
were
the far
looking
reaches
into
of hell, I knew your search would
of
lead you
hell.
here.
I knew your search would lead
And
you.
sure enough, you didn't disappoint.
And sure
Mine is
enough,
every bit as
you
sharp as I
didn't
thought it
disappoint
was.
me. Your mind is every bit as sharp as...
I'm not sure if I want that compliment from you. You sent Lucia to keep an eye on me.
Sent Lucia to keep an eye on me.
What a shame, my dear boy.
What a shame, my dear boy.
Thirst for knowledge like yours would be a terrible thing to
Thirst
waste.
for knowledge like yours would be such a terrible thing to waste.
What's your game? What do you say? Apprentice yourself to me, and I will
What do
overlook
you
your little
say?
trespasses.
Apprentice yourself to
Let's
I
see.
will
Sell my soul to the
overlook your
devil.
trespasses.
Nah, think not. I refuse.
I
Go
refuse.
suck a lemon.
I am
Philosophically
shall I say,
opposed to your stance on
philosophically
knowledge.
opposed to your stance on
I believe that knowledge should be shared, not hoarded
I
for
believe
one's
that
personal
knowledge
gain.
should be shared, not hoarded for one's personal
Yep.
gain.
I thought you'd say as much. Most unfortunate, Cyrus. Most unfortunate.
Most unfortunate, Cyrus. Most
Oh
unfortunate.
boy. As you know, this is my house, and I don't
know,
get many callers
this is
these
my
days.
house, and I don't get many callers.
Smart man like you knows what this means,
A
yes?
smart man like you knows what this means. Yes?
He's gonna starve me to death. You starve to death here, no one will be the
when you
wiser.
starve to death here,
Well,
no one will be the wiser.
pooh. Then I'm gonna be just left alone, in the dark, with only my thoughts. That would drive me nuts. I think I'll give up without a fight. You don't know me nearly well enough. Now, how can I get out of here? Climbing my way out doesn't seem to be an option.
Here. Now
Time to investigate. And we've somehow all ended up in here. Ooh, I found a bone. Investigate further. We're gonna investigate every corner of this little dungeon. And then we'll wait and see. And we're waiting. Professor Albright.
Professor?
Wait a minute. That voice. Oh, lower a rope.
Are you okay?
There you go. Climb up. Who is our mysterious rescuer? It's Therese. I'm so glad you're safe. Well, that was nice. That's a good question. Why did she come all the way here from Atlas? I knew you were in danger, so I came to warn you. That's quite enough, young lady. Great. That's definitely not good. I knew Cyrus would come, but you?
You think you can get away with this?
That's a clear hostage negotiation never factored into your studies. Stop meddling in my research or the girl's life is forfeit. And he somehow just vanished. Well, now he's gonna die. Now he's really gonna die. Won't let him get away with this. I don't care who you are, kidnapping and holding someone hostage ain't right. I'll find you overly hot-headed and temperamental. But on this issue, I stand in complete agreement. No man who pretends to integrity and virtuousness can let such wrongdoing go unpunished. My subcolor temperature remains tepid. Oh boy. Alright, so we now have access to the house. But before we even go and venture forth into there, we're gonna go swap some folks around in the party. I do not know why I am so dang tired. Oh wait, that's right. The cats. The cats have gotten into the annoying habit of kind of just waking me up way too early. Which is admittedly a little annoying. So, I think that instead we're gonna... Why did I go back here again? Oh, that's right. We were gonna train Ulbrich up. And then swap the jobs around a little bit. Because we probably need to get everyone into the proper set for the upcoming battles. Because I do distinctly remember from my first playthrough that Yvonne is not an easy boss. At least I remember him being a lot tougher than some of the other Chapter 3 bosses. Then again, I do remember that the Venom-Toothed Tiger from Tressa's Chapter 3 was very hard in my first playthrough, and then when we went through it, I kinda wrecked shop on it. So, chances are, if you use your skills properly in this fight, it's not too difficult. It's just a matter of knowing how to kind of put your best foot forward on that one and use your skills in the right combination. Because one of the things that can make your fights go so much smoother is knowing how to leverage your skills, your support skills, and how to basically deal with anything that an enemy can throw at you, or even anticipate it. So like with the Venom-Toothed Tiger, like that one, I knew that I had to hit it as hard and fast as I could. So I like having at least one merchant in the party almost all the time, just for the sole purpose of being able to act as a BP battery and flood the right party members with BP, but you can also use Alphen for the same thing, because merchants are very good BP batteries, but concocts can also be very useful for the same exact purpose. It's one of the reasons why Alphen, gameplay-wise, is one of my favorite characters, because if you use his concoct ability properly, he can be a braking machine as well as an effective backup BP battery. So right now it looks like we are ready to go into the dungeon, which we will do next time. So again, chances are we're probably going to be doing the post commentary thing twice. So there's this video and then the next one. But if you like the video, please remember to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. And I suppose we will see you all next time. But until then, this is Alden Foodry signing off. Farewell.